Hail Warrior! Welcome to episode 16 of our attempt to escape Viking Purgatory and reach Valhalla. Unfortunately, this time around the ITER ran out in the mystical recording equipment, so we have no audio for this one, but don't worry though, we'll just tell you what happened in the oral tradition of our peoples. We start the adventure each doing our own separate things. I went to foolishly check out some swamp area I was not equipped for, while Val, being fed up of boating around and frustrated at our failure to find the vendor, starts mapping out the island on foot. I find an unusually beautiful swamp area, but before I get a chance to fully bask in its glory, an abomination spawns out of the ground and scares me half to death. I quickly turn around to run away, but the sight of a troll scares me another quarter to death before I realize that I can actually make them fight each other. I quickly devise a plan and start spreading false rumors regarding what was said about certain mothers of certain abominations, and this quickly escalates into a full-on brawl.
So you're gonna bring it... No? Oh, that's a troll.
Oh, I'm gonna make them fight! I forgot, yes.
No, okay.
The troll is gonna fight
You're
the abomination.
Gonna make them fight? How?
Yes.
Did you just talk shit about them?
I told him that the troll said that his dad could beat up his dad. The abomination dad, the troll dad could beat up the abomination dad. I try to get the best viewing angle that I can, but I get greedy and the troll spots me and remembers that I killed countless of his kind. I get around the problem by spreading more false rumors and eventually get them fighting again, while I just stand there looking. The abomination won the fight, which was more boring than I would have expected, so I just ran away, leaving it to heal its wounds. In this whole time, Val sprinted her way to the end of the island, and as night was coming she started thinking about going home. She checks her pockets for Grey Dwarf eyes, only to realize she had forgotten to take the portal ingredients from home. With the cold setting in, she decides that her best choice is to just sleep in an old abandoned cottage and continue her journey on the morrow. She starts fixing the place up a bit, but upon hearing enemies nearby, she simply cannot allow herself to go to sleep. At first. Eventually she suppresses those thoughts enough to get to bed, but I wasn't home yet and she couldn't rest knowing I'm out there by myself.
Oh, I got out of it. Something's happening. I think I'm gonna take care of the brute, cause...
Oh, you decided to take care of it after
Yeah,
all.
I was bored and you weren't even home.
I was
so.
doing my best to come home. Eventually I got home and went to bed, but in the meantime Val got up to kill the nearby enemy, which turned out to be a brute. After making swift work of him, we both managed to go to sleep in different places for the first time in the game, which is probably why neither of us had any dreams. In the morning, Val continued her journey on foot, looking to gather some fresh portal ingredients along the way. While I was picking on her by showing how many cores we already had at home, karma struck and I suddenly felt the ground shaking. I went outside and two trolls were looking for the guy who started spreading rumor and antagonizing abominations and stuff. I told them that it wasn't me, but the one with the stick started swinging at me, so I had no choice but to fight. Meanwhile, Val was chopping some beech for that fine wood and staying vigilant for crypts or the occasional eye to gouge out in order to quickly come home and help with the troll situation. Fortunately, it was going alright as one of the trolls wandered off far away and I just had the one to deal with. Until, for some unexplained reason, I decided to involve both of them at once.
But at least you're fighting only one troll, because the other one is looking at the view or something.
Don't worry, I'm getting...
Why are you antagonizing the other one?
I'm antagonizing him, yeah, I'm not very smart. Should have just left him alone.
But now the other one is away, so you should...
Don't worry, I'll go get him back.
Excellent.
See, I'll go bring him back. Hey, we're fighting. After dodging them a bit, I get lucky as one of them leaves, but having learned no lesson at all, I did the exact same thing again. Still, it was an epic fight that I eventually won. Val was still looking for the portal ingredients, and while fine wood was everywhere, the real problem were the cores, because there were no crypts in sight. Spotting Black Forest on another island, she considered swimming there, but then remembered she actually had a raft on her person, which would make the journey easier, as would have a portal, but for some reason she didn't have that.
In certain situations, the raft is better than portal.
I built her the connection portal at home and I named it Q for some reason, and then resumed my swamp search. I tried to find the injured abomination, but I just end up sneaking behind a skeleton for the most unnecessary stealth kill ever. The new island paid off as Val found the crypt almost immediately and grabbed a whole bunch of cores from inside. Inspired by the view and the location, we start discussing the idea of making our new house right on the edge between the Black Forest and the swamp biomes, which would not only look great but would also give us much easier access to both iron and bronze. After finding a tower in the area, I started converting it into a temporary base for our new location. However, plans for the future house were not looking great, considering I couldn't even fit a portal and a workbench in this small building without blocking my exit. While I was doing this, Val found a tower of her own for the portal, but after checking her inventory and not finding enough eyes, she found something much better instead. The vendor had appeared on the map close to her after eluding us for so many boat trips. Excited, she abandoned the tower altogether, found a spawn point which gave her enough eyes to make a portal right next to Haldor and his tamed locks. Night was coming once more, so we decided to go shopping the next day. I went to the treasure chest and grabbed every last piece of jewelry, pearls, and gold we had. Val got herself a fancy fanny pack, which I thought looked quite snazzy, so I got one for myself, which left us just enough money to get one of those headlamps for mining. Finally reunited and with our fancy new equipment, I take Val to show her our new island in person. She admires the transcendent lagoon in the swamp for a while, after which we run around the place scouting the best location for our new base. We decide to make it on top of this hill, as fortresses usually are on top of hills, as I smugly point out. Val assesses the premises, the sun's orientation, and makes demands for a garden bathed in sunshine in the Black Forest. I start terraforming the place, looking to get a nice flat area of 20 by 20 meters, while Val finds a nearby copper deposit and turns our temporary base into a small factory, getting us ready with all the metals we will undoubtedly need while we are here. I get attacked by a troll once more, thinking at this point that it must be something I'm doing that's drawing them to me. Maybe it's my personality.
Or your smell.
Once I'm done with him, I come to check up on Val and accidentally scared the Bathor out of her. After complaining about the chest location for a bit, I go back to finish my foundation. Val mines copper by creating unnecessarily elaborate tunnels underneath the vein. Oh, there they are.
Hello, boys.
They were waiting for you on the other side of the tunnel. That's a nice tunnel. After a while, laziness set in, and I decided that 20 by 20 might be overreaching. I mean, who needs that much space anyway? And so I stopped at 15 by 15 for now. During this time, Val gathered all the ingredients necessary to make a forge on this side of the portal, so we don't need to go through the portal to repair our tools, and even made a sign to prevent people like me from falling into her destruction hole. After I finished the last corner, we realized that the next step to our brand new house was a stone foundation, but to build with stone, we needed iron. We decided that it might be time to start searching for some sunken crypts in the nearby swamp in order to get just a little bit of iron for a stonecutter. We get ready for the dangerous mission by pumping ourselves up and meticulously grabbing and organizing every food item and potion and armors and weapons, and after all that careful preparation, the ground starts shaking. Just like the first time around, only one of the trolls was actually attacking, whilst the other one got distracted by the landscape, so we made quick work of the first and moved on to the second. Val, half heroically, half stupidly, jumped in front of the pigs to save them and got squashed by the troll. I ended up saving the pigs, killing the troll, and fixing the pig pen.
Poorly. Fixing it poorly.
Checking to see if we could upgrade our equipment a bit more, I realized we had made absolutely no effort into improving our comfort, which is probably why my back hurts all the time. We hadn't built any furniture or even a basic adzi, but nobody's got time to linger on past mistakes, so we improvised a quick bench and table combo and went back to the swamp. Awestruck by the splendor of the lagoon, I didn't notice that the company of leeches had gathered at my footstep. I fixed the problem in the most idiotic manner by shooting a single arrow in each of them, neither killing them nor getting their loot, but ensuring that they will come back later on to hurt us. Val finally decides to join me and she rushes in headfirst into the water, gets poisoned
By one of your leeches, bro.
and ends up face to face with an archer-type Draugr that kills her within seconds of her entering the swamp for the first time. But now that she got the dying out of the way early on, she regrouped and came right back to recover her items, and we continue our search for the crypt. As we were running around the swamp, excitement filled my heart as I thought I had seen the green light of a crypt in the far distance, but alas, it was only a guk tree. Or so I thought, because behind it there was actually a crypt. What an emotional roller coaster. Val got the portal set up on top of the crypt while arrogantly asking if I had forgotten the swamp key at home. I did not. I almost did, I'm not gonna lie to you. We went inside where we didn't face too much opposition. We fought off a few of the normal creatures and filled our pockets in our brand new fanny packs with iron ore, and when both of our pickaxes got broken, we decided to go home. Exhausted from the heavy labor, I barely had enough stamina to climb on the crypt, and every new step was an annoyance. Upon getting to the end, I realized there is another step which really was not necessary, but that didn't matter because the portal wasn't activating anyway due to the iron I had on my person. We go back to the crypt and leave all of our iron in the first chest on the left. Or so I thought, because after painfully step-by-step climbing my way back on top of the crypt once more, I see that I actually still had some iron on me. Look how I'm struggling to climb again and another one, and then there's one more step there because you couldn't just
And the
build
item
it.
prevents you. What did you forget? No, you still had.
I had more iron.
Oh my god.